for those who just joined us, just to recap, we're talking about imagine a school where all the black boys do well, and Dr. Howard here has three different, and again, these are not the end all, but these are three suggestions to kind of get you going in that direction. One was learning about your biases. Number two was leverage how boys learn. What's the third one?
The third one is love them like your own.
Mm.
Like so,
Say that one more time, please.
learn about your bias and think differently.
Uh-huh.
Leverage how boys learn and instruct differently, and then love them like your own and engage them differently.
There you go. Tell me more.
Like, like, like that's the end all. Like we could put the cap on it right now. If you love black boys like your own children,
Mm,
you never give up, right?
mm.
Like who gives up on their own kids, right? Who lowers expectations for their own kids? Um, like I said, I have three daughters. One who's a freshman in college at Spelman, one who's a sophomore, and one who's in middle school. And they can tap my nerves. I'm sure I can tap theirs. And some days we have to say, you know what, we're not hearing each other. Let's come back to this. Let's reset. Let's try this again tomorrow. How many times are we willing to give that benefit of the doubt to our students, particularly our black boys? Like there's something sometimes that bias does to us that makes us say, you know what, you need a consequence. You don't need a reset. We don't need to restore this relationship. You need to be sent home. Like, so if we approach everything in terms of, with a posture of restoration opposed to always consequence, I think there's something in informative in that. A boy is going, send him home. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to be on Fortnite. I want to be on Roblox, whatever games for 3 days. Send me
Mm-hmm.
home. But it would be much more of a learning experience for him to have a conversation with you about why he said what he said, why I told you to shut up. Like if a student told a teacher to shut up and didn't have to reflect on that and explain that in a conversation, like
Yeah.
that's the type of experiences we want students to be able to have, because those are life skills. You send him home for suspension, guess what? He's chilling. He comes back. The teacher's still holding a grudge. They never have an opportunity to reset the relationship.
And then the teacher has to try to get the student caught up because he's missed 3 days of school.
Because they missed 3 days of school, right? And that reset is a part of life. Like I don't know if you're married, but I've been married for 20 years. Like resetting is critical. And that's a skill that you have to learn. And sometimes you have to be a lifelong learner around that. Because if you care about that relationship and that person, you're going to be, hey, you know what? I messed up yesterday. Let's try and do this right today. Let's be better today. So I think that's part of like the thinking behind love them like your own. And plus, coming from, like, when we talk about learning about cultural archetypes, like the African American community is very relational. So if they see you as an auntie opposed to like an administrator, like who's out to get me, like an auntie's posture is different than the person who's trying to consequence you. Like an auntie can check you and be like, yo, you need to get yourself together. Yeah. Go over there and you get yourself together and then come back in here. That's different than you need to go home. So I think it's kind of like reframing what relationships look like in schoolhouses with our kids. And one of my fraternity brothers, he spoke at the Bond Academy a year or two ago, and he's a dean of students somewhere up in New Jersey. And he said his philosophy is like, when students see me, do they see me as a source of stress or a sigh of relief? And when he said that, I almost fell off my chair, because I was like, yo, that is so powerful, right? A source of stress or a sigh of relief. When they see you, do they know, is this person going to harass me about my hat or my hood, or they going to be like, yo, Jamal, you know, you can't wear that hood, right? Come on over here, man. How's school going? How's your brother? How's like checking in? Like, because of we recognize the fact that the relationship is incredibly important for helping students to realize, hey, there are some rules you got to follow here. But the goal is, you know, we got to get you graduated. We got to get you some skills. We got to get you onto your career path that you want to be on. And that takes a lot of work. And it's not just sit, listen, read, do. It's more than that.
Listen, what did you say? Am I a sigh of relief or am I a source of stress? That's deep, man.
Deep.
That is deep. But I never thought about it that way. Never like. But that comes down to the whole relationship part, right? The kind of relationship that you have with your students, and that is something that I'm gonna definitely think about going forward. I hope some of our educators out there listening can take that to heart. Shout out to your frat brother about that quote, because I'm still processing that thought, because that is a deep, like, that when you really think about what does that mean, that's really important.
Yeah. Shout out to Elmani Viney. I'll give him some name recognition on that.
Yes,
that's deep.